I'm Jay Thomas, and welcome to Rides.
This show looks at anything that has an engine and a story told by the owners.
Fast car like a bolt to lightning. Fast car blows right.
The Hemi Hideout, just outside of Houston, Texas. From the moment we drove up to the property, you come up this driveway, it is so beautiful and stunning. John has traveled with his buddies, and he is saving American history, one piece at a time. There he is, right there.
Good morning.
Mr.
Welcome to
Holmes.
Hemi Hideout, brothers.
Oh my God.
Thank you for making the trip out. Good to
Thank
see
you for the
man.
hospitality.
How you, sir?
That's
John
Dave.
Hovis. Dave, nice to meet you. Welcome. Let's go in and take a look here.
All right, this is Rides. Let's go check out the Hemi Hideout. I walked in here and the lights were not on. I knew what I was looking at, but I didn't realize what I was looking at until John told me.
Stand in the center here. Let me turn the lights on for you.
Oh, really? Oh, there are so many neon lights in here that it has to be turned on in sections. When he lit the first one up, I couldn't believe what I was looking at. Then he hit another section, and then another section. This is unbelievable. You can't believe what you're seeing. You can't wrap your head around it. And then you see the cars. Mopar after Mopar after Mopar, 426 Hemis, RT, Shaker Hoods, Cudas, Challengers, Super Bs, Coronets. It goes on. The cars are jaw-dropping. My eyes are going right over the Mopars. Can we start there?
Absolutely.
All right.
This is a 71 Cuda. It was born a 340 Shaker. It now has a 528 all-aluminum Hemi, 740 horsepower,
Oh.
fully tubbed in the back.
So the back of this must look like a steamroller.
It's 22-inch wide tires. It's been fully tubbed out in the back. 1970 Challenger RT, born 446 pack and born Panther Pink. So only 5 were pink with a pink stripe. Today, they're ultra rare, and I love the color myself.
It's beautiful.
Now this has a 500 cubic inch all aluminum Indy cylinder head engine. It's a real six-pack. It's still a six-pack, but it's 500 cubic inches now. It wasn't a numbers matching car, so we played
Why
with it.
not then? Why not? Have fun with it. Exactly.
This is 1970 446 pack, a car I had when I was young looked just like this. And even like the Hemi versions, they only made 32 Hemi Super Bs in 1970. They're rare. It's a numbers matching car, but we did modify this car. This is considered the ugly duckling because of the B-wing grill, but you either loved them or you hated them.
Yeah. These cars, they were a dime a dozen. We didn't know what we had. We never thought that they would, we'd tinker around, trade them, smack them up, do whatever. And now you sit and you watch the auctions or you see collections and you go, oh, I had that. Oh, I had that. It's just amazing the value that these cars have now. Okay, back to the Cuda.
Another Moulin Rouge and convertible, and it was born Moulin Rouge. That's what makes this special.
was born.
But it was either a 6-cylinder or a 318, I can't recall.
Okay.
And now it's a 518 Hemi.
Not too many people get to do this.
Man, Jay, you look good in there. When the Cudas came out and Challengers in 1970, nobody wanted them because it was a 2-seater car. You couldn't put anybody back here. 1970 446 pack, numbers matching car, all original.
Is this an untouched car?
This is an untouched car.
And then if you look at the back, there's the hole, and that's what they've been putting on the latest generation.
Then over here, you see an all-original 10,800 mile only on this car, 1966 Belvedere 2.
Belvedere?
This is the original paint, the original interior. 284 were made in 1966. Besides being red, it looks like Granny's old car.
284 Granny's had them.
Yeah.
You want me to show you something amazing? Come on over here. That's amazing. What's there, about 2 inches there? Bumper to the wall? No, that's good parking right there.
All right, this is a great car here. This car was born a 446 pack, only 34 446 pack convertibles. Lots of 383s, only one Hemi in 1970. The story is this car was purchased 2 months later, ripped off, taken out for joyride, ditched it in a river, and it stayed there for 25 years. And then 1 year the river went down, the top was sticking out, pulled out 446 packs. Still a numbers matching car. The white interior really makes these cars pop, but they got so dirty so quick. They weren't very practical, but they sure look good out of the factory.
A Super Bee?
A Super Bee. All of them were 4 speeds on the floor or 3 on the column. This has a console and bucket seats. Only 5 were special ordered with bucket seats and a console, and this is one of them. 1965 version of the drag pack from 1965 with the cross ram. Oh, love it, love it, love it.
When you pop the hood and see this bad
Yes,
boy.
and it was the version of a low-profile tunnel ram. So this carburetor feeds this side, this carburetor feeds this side. So it's a tunnel ram, but low profile.
So is that a power wagon back there?
It is. We haven't touched those yet.
Power wagon.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Okay, so this is a 1947 Dodge Power Wagon. Of course, after World War II, 46, they went into production.
What did they run for engines in this?
A 6-cylinder, and it was only 94 horsepower.
No, okay, 94.
230 cubic inch.
Tight too. What's the beast here?
Okay, so this car here is a 1937 Plymouth Business Coupe, just beautifully restored. It's got the first year 1952 Hemi engine, and this thing will rock and roll.
You're just in paint.
Yes, it's called Chameleon. It's a 9-color paint, but in artificial light, you only see green and purple.
Hanging out with John Hovis down here at the Hemi Hideout, Houston, Texas, and we've got more of this gorgeous place coming up on rides.
Welcome to Hemi Hideout. Let me turn the lights on for you.
Oh, really? Oh, come on. Oh. I don't even know where to start with the sides. I mean, give me some of your holy grails. There's got to be people watching this
Sure.
and are going to go, he has that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what you got.
This is a 1918 version, first version of an illuminated sign for Texaco. You can see it's 2 single-sided porcelain signs, and it's got incandescent bulbs spinning around. It gives that swirling look, the only one that survived from 1918.
1918?
Yeah. Yeah, everybody still had oil lamps in their houses back then. So if you bought that sign, you had to buy a generator. You could light your whole service station up in the dead of dark. It's cool.
How many of those are in existence?
That's the only one that
That's
survived.
it.
That's the holy grail for Texaco.
Wow.
Then this sign here.
Yeah, that one caught my eye right away.
Okay, so you know-
that is a holy grail, isn't it?
That's a holy grail.
Yeah.
You're a Dodge guy.
Yeah.
So the Dodge brothers were responsible for the success of Henry Ford.
They were.
Engines and drivetrains. In 1914, Henry Ford cast the Dodge brothers out. They were
Yep,
gone.
he screwed them over.
And they started Dodge Brothers in 1914. This is a 1917 dealership sign. All porcelain with milk glass letters. We have a restoration shop.
Restore everything here.
We do all kinds of restorations.
Do you
and
do it for anybody else or just for you?
we do it for whoever wants to come.
Really? So if somebody's watching and say, hey,
That's right.
I've got an old sign, I'd love to get it restored.
We got the best.
John Hovis down here in, just outside of Houston, Texas. He's got the best. And if you don't believe me, oh, come on, really?
Yeah.
Give me a break. Is that Dodge in the crate because that thing was never hung?
That's never
Is
hung.
that the original crate?
The original crate, 1938. We found that in Franklin, Tennessee.
And that's the actual crate. It
That's
got
a crate.
shipped in back.
We decided just to hang it up like that. Everyone asked, why is that one in a box?
Good call. It's basically the entire history of the sign.
Here's something you don't see in Mopar. Look at this sign here. Everyone recognizes that sign, but you don't see Fargo. Have you ever seen that?
Okay, we got to talk. I've heard of Fargo. Imagine that.
When Walter Chrysler quit General Motors to buy out the Dodge brothers that were in limbo, they both died of influenza, bought out the company, and he started Plymouth, Dodge, DeSoto, Chrysler, and Fargo medium-duty trucks in
That's
Fargo, North Dakota.
right.
They were medium-duty trucks, and only 2 years were they part of Chrysler. So that's a rare sign right there.
Like, so won't be off making an offer on that one. The Richfield.
The story is they only made 5 of them. Now, it's a real porcelain sign. The Richfield part we had to make, but the Eagles is all original.
How about that Gulf sign?
1923, that's the first version of an illuminated sign for Gulf, and only 12 of those survived. We bought 7 of those at an auction recently. They brought them out of the basement because they had a design change. They just stayed in the basement in Buffalo, New York. and everybody's been trying to buy them, so we went and bought all of them at an auction, and now we're selling those.
So neons, you do just straight old tin signs too?
Porcelain signs, whatever.
Now, the other one that caught my eye, and I don't know if it's a Holy Grail, but I'm going to the Firestone sign.
Absolutely. 1925 version Firestone. They didn't really dip tires in gum, but they advertised that like they're to stick the road better than Goodrich or Goodyear.
Minneapolis Moline, great story behind that tractor company.
Yes, sir.
Is that a Holy Grail or?
Well, they're actually
gorgeous.
fairly common and, of course, popular in the Minnesota area. Down here in Texas, very few Minneapolis Molines, but those are the tractors that's just built stout. And man, in the tractor pools, they dominate.
Yep.
So just cool tractors, but part of the collection.
Give us another Holy Grail.
Okay, another Holy Grail piece.
How about just the whole place? Let's
Okay,
just call
all
the
right.
whole place a Holy Grail.
A Holy Grail for me would be this spur here. This spur came from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Have you been there?
I have, in the Cowboys bar with all the saddles.
Silver Dollar Saloon. 2 doors down was a Silver Spur Bar and Grill. It was a Silver Spur Cafe. And so we got that from Jackson Hole. I just love that. We're gonna find a neon spur, but a cool piece.
Well, how'd you find it? Were they selling it or?
I walked into this place and to get something to eat, I look up and I see this spur. I'm like, oh my God, look at this
I have
thing.
to have
So
this.
I asked this young lady if the owners are here. She says no. I said, well, give me a call if I strike a deal with them on this thing. She said they were going to move and leave the thing. And if I can buy that sign, I'm going to come back with a great reward for you. And we worked out a deal and we got it
That's
bought.
fabulous.
That's Ready Kilowatt. Ready Kilowatt has been dead and gone for 45 years. He was the logo for electric companies all across America, or Willie Wired Hands.
Jeez, how long, John, to amass this collection of signs?
I didn't have a single piece 9 years ago. Not one piece.
In 9 years, how tough is it getting?
It's getting tough, but we go to auctions all the time, and we're always trying to buy more pieces.
So now, you got guys that are out there traveling around the country, or you just kind of scour the papers, not the papers, but the interweb and look, or what?
Well, auctions will come up, and I've got a friend you're going to meet in a little bit. He's traveled with me to gather all this stuff. But we've made connections all over the United States, so people call, hey, we've got this, that, or the other. We go to an auction, go after X, we'll end up with Y or Z.
Yeah, and that's how it
something
works.
else will come up. So.
And it's all about relationships.
That's right.
It's all about building
That's
those
right. Who
relationships.
you connect with and the connections you make, you treat people right, good things are going to come.
Exactly. How long did it take to put this place up?
It took us about 2 years and 2 months from the day we started till the day we called it finished, but it's still not finished. It just
They're never
keeps,
finished.
It keeps evolving as we go. You know, you keep going till they plant you in the ground, and it's just been so much fun, the ride of my life for sure.
We'll be back with more of the Hemi Hideout and John Hovis down here in Texas. It's gorgeous. More coming up on Rides. The Hemi Hideout, I love it. You can't believe what John Hovis and everybody that's with him, what they have done down here in such a short amount of time. There's a little bit of everything.
There is.
You
There
got
is.
so much cool stuff.
This is one of the first gasoline engines ever built in the United States. These are what built America. They'd put a big old pulley on this side, run back to a jack shaft, and run 1,000 sewing machines. It's only 10 horsepower.
That's
but
all you
300
needed, yeah.
And then this is a collection of ammo from 1870 to 1950.
So now, is there actually ammo in these?
They're all full. Every one of them's
Really?
full. Yeah. So we got rimfire, pistol, rifle, and then we've got, like, this is a full case of 22 Savage or high speed from the 1930s. There's another full case from the 1930s, 7.65
How the hell are you
Luger.
finding this stuff?
You-
I mean, I
you
get the
just-
signs and stuff, but I mean,
You
this.
start digging and stuff starts coming up.
Oh, I love this box right there with the big bear on it.
So you had Winchester with a bear that's crawling, and then Western had the standing bear, and everybody fights over that stuff.
Oh, geez, look at that thing.
It's a number 7 bear trap.
Look at the acre on that thing. What the hell size bear are you hitting with that?
Well, they actually make a number 8 that's gigantic. I'm like, I guess a T-Rex for that. This guy, Stan Sacrazon, found this T-Rex in northwest South Dakota.
Yes, he did.
So all the bones were disarticulated. They were able to take those bones and make a computerized generated copy of the best one ever found. This is made out of resin, but he's still cool.
I don't care what it's made out of. It is so flippin' cool.
It is. This is a 100 million year old alligator snapping turtle found in Florida. 100 million years old. If you live to be 80 years old, that's 1,250,000 generations old.
Look at that. I don't know if you know or not, Dave was a former police chief in Fargo for years, so yeah, there you go.
We've got a friend that was a Bobby over there. That's his uniform.
Look at that, Dave.
This is a fan that runs on fire. So you have a kerosene lamp back here. Okay. So you light the kerosene lamp. You put the chimney down like that, heat's going up, you got a crankshaft and a piston, the heat's coming up, and you start it like this, and the heat keeps it going. From 1880, that would be Army issue, and the general would have that in his tent.
Of course,
What a cool
the general
fan.
gets it, yeah.
This is a music machine, a Jim Roller organ. They made tons of these. This is a wooden record where the pins were put on by hand, and no electricity out in the country, so you have a hand-operated air pump or accordion and reeds, and you play it like this.
Sounds like the early days of AC/DC.
Okay, we're gonna plug this in. This is a 1950s kiddie ride that we found. And this was Tusco the elephant, and the girls would always get on the elephant, had a little saddle, all aluminum. We wanted to make him look like our logo. So we cut his ears off, welded a brow, made him carnivorous. This table is the largest ever cut piece of petrified wood. You'll never see a larger diameter than this. Base piece of a 300-foot tall sequoia tree, and it was buried alive. It was 985 years old when it was buried alive in volcanic ash, an ice age event. Over 265 million years, the minerals from volcanic ash and the organic materials from the tree colored it and turned the entire tree, leaves, roots, and everything to stone.
It looks like it's like marble or granite.
It does.
And that's fossilized wood.
That's fossilized wood.
I mean, this is beautiful.
But you'll never see a bigger diameter. This is
That's
it. This is the bottom
That's the
slab
biggest.
of a 300-foot tall tree.
We'll be back with more of the Hemi Hideout and John Hovis down here in Texas. It's gorgeous. More coming up on Rides. Folks, you are about to get a lesson in signs, in cars, and what true friendships really are. And sitting around this table, these are friends that have taken something and made it just an unbelievable, extraordinary place down here in the Houston, Texas area. The Hemi Hideout it's got to be one of the most beautiful places we've filmed on Rides.
Well, thank you. We're proud of it. This is the team that helped put it together.
You all feel like you have ownership in this.
Absolutely, we do. And not just this group. This is the main core here, but many people involved. Bill Prokopic does all of our restorations.
This is where you hang out?
This is where I hang out for the most part. I'm happy to come out here every day. I really consider myself lucky to be a part of it, you know, and honestly speaking, you're only as good as sometimes as the opportunities.
So this is all the restoring you do, all the custom work, it's all done in here?
Yeah, for the most part, everything's done here. There's some reproduction signs, there's some original signs. That's a milk glass sign. That's a real early Chrysler sign. So basically you have a form, you heat up the glass sheet and it
Goes around it, yeah. You taught yourself how to do all this?
I did, yeah. I like to think that they're well made. I like to see them as original.
All this furniture here, these stools that you see here, these are all manufactured at our restoration shop. We take antique railroad tools or whatever motif you want and then just make these stools.
No, this is all handmade by you.
Yeah.
Big Bill does this. Did you actually make the case under here too?
Yeah.
So you did everything. This isn't a pre-bought case. This is your work.
Yeah.
Tom Queen. Tom Queen and I have traveled across the country and gone picking all over the United States and Canada, and is an integral part of the success of us finding signs.
I'm told you're the negotiator when you guys are out looking for goodies.
We go for the gold and we walk out with it.
This is a 1968 Car Driver magazine ad when Roadrunner was Car of the Year. Bill Seitz, local car artist here, his incredible artwork is displayed all over this building. He took my car, put it in place, and then put Roadrunner 1 of 34.
These are all based on the ads that were in the hot rod magazines back in the 60s. And I just changed them all up where we took the original car from the ad out and we put one of John's cars in there. So these all became unique.
This is Shelley Gates, and Shelley was brought in here to do interior design, help us with lighting, and then one project turned into another.
Did you think, Shelley, that this would get this big?
No, he really gave me the opportunity to do a lot of fun stuff.
She designed our diner. So we were trying to replicate a 1950s diner here. An interior design expert, she found all the components and put this together.
Did you actually use this?
We use it, but we don't, it's not like a commercial restaurant.
Well, yeah.
We have a party and people will sit here and have a good time.
John Hovis, I had an absolute blast hanging out with you
Me too,
today.
thank you so much.
You are such a nice man, and for you to open this up, not just to me and my crew, but you open this up to the public.
We do.
John, let me ask you this.
Sure.
I mean, would you do it again?
If I knew then what I know now, I probably wouldn't have, but I'm so grateful I did it. I'm so grateful, profoundly grateful for all the people that helped put this together. Many people put heart and soul into this. We all have ownership. The ride of my life, no question about that. The ride of my life.
Well, you are an amazing man. Thank you so
Jay.
much, John Hovis.
We appreciate you, buddy.
Shelley, thank you. Bill, thank you. Tom, thank you. Big Bill, thank you. This is what it's all about, man.
Hey, if you have a cool story that involves a car, a motorcycle, a boat, heck, anything with an engine, we want to hear about it. Just go to rideswithjthomas.tv, send us a picture with your story, and your ride could be featured on the show. And don't forget to visit the merch shop where you can get all your Rides gear. From everyone here at Rides, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
3, 2, 1. Hey, we'll be. No, we do that. 3, 2, 1. Hey, more from the Hemi Hideout down here in Houston. Let me do that. Hey, more from the. Which camera do you want me to look at? 3, 2, 1. Hanging out with John Hovis down here at the Hemi Hideout, Houston, Texas, and we've got more of this gorgeous place coming up on Rides. I knew it. There's always going to be one guy in the crowd.